how do we move away from from persons who practicing witchcraft and siding up with or becoming part of those persons who we sin, because we're not fighting against people, we're fighting against flesh and blood. Now the devil himself, or the demons do not come over anybody who has not who has surrendered their life unto God. Now, if you have surrendered your life unto God, it means that the devil has no authority over you. What do you say to persons who are possessed, and how do they get deliverance from these demons? You remember Christ when he walked? I'm trying to put everything together, and so it seems like I'm rushing.
Pretty long question, yes.
Yes, when Christ was traveling with the disciples and he went to the other side of the place, he saw a man who was possessed with demons. You remember the story, right? Where did Christ call on the other people that seemed to be in authority, and call them to say, well, let me get authority. He said, my Father has given me that right to cast out demons. And it is our job as Christians that he said, greater things that shall we do. We have the authority to cast out these demons as long as we ourselves are living right. So it bothers me a little bit when you talk about the authority.
Could you give me a little chance? Let me answer this, because your question is becoming more and more complicated and elongated.
Yeah.
And I'm going to lose track of it.
Go ahead.
And I think you just raised a very valuable point, which I stressed on earlier, the notion of humility. And you recognize Paul, in his letter to the Philippians, chapter 2, verses 5 to 6, spoke about why God raised Jesus to such an exalted position. It's because he himself never clinged to equality with God. He never entered any form of competition with God himself. Notice too that any decision that Jesus was about to undertake, he would first go into some secluded area and consulted with his Father before doing so. Now, Jesus is God, and he has demonstrated for us the sequence in which things do happen, and how they happen, or why they happen this way. Now, if Jesus has demonstrated to us that even if all powers and authority has been given to him, that he can still be reliant on his Father, why can't we therefore be reliant or rely on somebody else to be able to guide us in doing the right thing? No one has the total answer or solution to any problem or situation. There is always somebody who have preceded us, who knows better than we do, who can guide us accordingly. And that's where humility steps in. Okay? I've even forgotten some of the questions that you asked.
Yeah, we already have another call online.
Yeah.
Good evening, you're on the air.
Yes, hello, good evening. Again, to the priest, I just want you to clarify a few things here for me. In relation with the casting out of demons, of course, you were alluding earlier on that it is a rite within the Roman Catholic Church, and it could only be administered by certain priests, of course, following a proper procedure of the Archbishop giving permission and stuff like that. But what I want you to show me, Father, is where is that in the Bible? And you also gave the reference to the brothers who were trying to cast out the demon in the book of Acts. But the thing is, these men were not living right. And it is on that premise that the devil would have rebuked them. So I would like you to show me in Scripture that it is only the clergy who has the authority to cast out demons, because based on what we understand from the Gospels, all believers have that power, that dunamis and that exousia to cast out demons. So I would need some clarification in that regard.
Thank you very much.
Paula, I think I'm going to claim my ignorance here publicly in this respect. I'm not sure of exactly what you're talking about. that all believers has this power. I am not sure of this at all, and there is no scriptural reference that I am familiar with that would make a reference to this particular notion. So I will claim my ignorance here publicly. Thank you.
One of the callers, the one who was a bit scattered, made reference to the lodge. I wanted to touch on that before you leave. We're quickly running out of time with our final call. Good evening, you're on the air.
Hi, good evening. My comment is for the lady who called earlier on and said that she had several religions and demons struggling her. She's not sleeping day and night. I just want to let her know that she can come to the Bethel Church every Thursday from 12 in the afternoon, and there would be someone there who is going to pray with her. She's going to get the help that she needs. And if she comes in tomorrow, our bishop would be in tomorrow. So it would be a good time for her to come in and get all the help that she needs. Go to the Bethel Church. It's at Sanssouci, and from 12 o'clock tomorrow, and I promise you, you will get the help that you need.
Thank you. Yeah. With reference to the Freemasonry, it's been described as the devil's playground. And Anton LaVey, the high priest of the Church of Satan, said, and I quote, "Masonic orders have contained the most influential men in many governments, and virtually every occult order has many Masonic roots." He was talking there about the opening up of the Catholic Church to allow Masons in and to conduct funerals and that sort of thing.
Well, I think there is a position that had been pronounced since 1983 by John Paul II of the irreconcilable nature of the Freemasons within the Catholic Church. Now, we cannot tell who is Freemasons and who is not Freemasons. And when people come to church to declare or ask for a funeral, they do not make such things known. So we cannot be presumptuous in judging every book by the same cover. Yeah. We just don't know.
Father Lambert St. Rose, thank you very much for being with us. We're running out of time. Any parting words from you?
I would like as many people to read the book and try to understand as many of the questions that you've called to ask. They are in turbulent waters, and I'm sure you will have an enjoyable read. As Kendall himself said, it was so gravitating that he could not put it down once he had laid his hands on it. Yeah. And also that I would be available at Babonneau on Saturday for book signing there. If you desire to come across there, there is a farmer's market, and I've been invited to do some book sale and book signing as well. So
what time?
I thank you so much for listening, and thank you for tuning in.
What time will you be at Babonneau?
I guess somewhere between 10 and 3.
Okay. Thank you very much, Father St. Rose. A pleasure. Looking forward to the next book.
It's on its way.
Yeah. Stay tuned. You're watching Newsmaker Live. When we come back, a new guest, new topic, last show for the year. We'll be right back.